Good morning. Hi, good morning, Amber. Um, I'm a little behind this morning, and that is very annoying for Virgo energy. Um, so we're moving into, we're still in waxing crescent phase, but we're moving into Virgo today from Leo, which Leo is a fire sign, and Virgo brings us back down to the earth. So if you were feeling more energetic yesterday, and now I was dragging this morning. I actually just took a shot of apple cider vinegar and it like totally woke me up. I actually got up earlier today and I've already had my coffee and everything, but for some reason I'm behind on all of my tasks. So that is the opposite of Virgo energy. I haven't exercised yet, which was one of my intentions for this new moon. So the Virgo energy is a really good time to kind of, while we're still in the waxing crescent phase, it's a really good time to kind of really get your intentions. You're totally dragging today. I hear you. It's such well, they're all pretty swift shifts when you're going from fire to earth, and then tomorrow we're going to go to air. It is a pretty drastic shift. So, earth energy is heavy. So fire energy is volatile and moving, and then earth is bringing you back down. And for people who are maybe more fiery or more watery, that might be kind of a difficult transition for you, because water and fire are moving, and even air is more of a movement sign or energy. So coming into earth is just you kind of feel heavy and you're dragging. So how to utilize this energy is to do the things that are physical and tangible and heavy. And that might even be what I save, I hate doing paperwork for my business. I save paperwork for either a Virgo day or a Capricorn day, because those, Capricorn is also an earth sign, and it's all about success and achievement. So it's going to give you that drive to get whatever it is that you need to get done. Whereas Virgo is the physical, tangible aspect of communication. I'll get back into that a little bit later, but so I'm trying to stay on track. So the moon rose today at 9:29 a.m. and it'll set at 11:16 p.m. So a good way to kind of ground and organize your intention around following the moon is to maybe start making a list and noting what time the moon rises and where and when you can see it in your sky, where you live. So that those are East Coast times that I gave you, and writing it down. I'm gonna write it down in my habit tracker or my mood tracker, and write down when I can see it. I forgot to go out last night, but it was cloudy anyways where I am. But today's a little hazy, but maybe it'll clear up. So hopefully I can get out and see it. So that's the kind of thing that you kind of want to work on so close to the new moon, and use that Virgo energy to really get yourself organized and figure out how to take steps towards whatever your intention was. For example, my one of mine was like, if you're using the planner and you're doing setting a timer for something that you like to do and focusing on self-care or something that makes you happy, figuring out a specific time in your day that you can do that is a really great way to harness the Virgo energy. So for example, like mine, I wanted to do mind, body, and spirit. So I'm reading, exercising, and meditating every day, trying to at least. And so using the Virgo energy to actually schedule that time and write it down and make a point to do it is a really great way to harness the Virgo energy. Virgo is also ruled by Mercury, and we talked earlier in this challenge about Gemini, who's also ruled by Mercury. So Gemini is the air sign associated with Mercury, and Mercury is the planet of communication. So Virgo is the earth sign associated with Mercury, the planet of communication. So it's like the tangible, physical earth form of communication, like written language is a earthy, tangible form of communication. So it's a really good day to be planning, organizing. Like I said, I usually do paperwork for my business, like all my bookkeeping and all the stuff that I always put off. And this is a really great way to hold yourself accountable to things, because like yesterday, I gave myself permission to be creative because I knew that today and tomorrow I had to do the paperwork stuff that I always avoid. But if I make sure that I get that done on a Virgo day, then it's done and you're using that energy. If I don't get it done, I'll wait for Capricorn. But I find that Virgo works better. Capricorn kind of like kicks you in the butt a little bit. So if like, for example, if I did not do my paperwork throughout the next 2 days and Capricorn came along, it'd be like, you have to do it now. Or like, it's like a very strict feeling energy. It's like, you have to do it now or you're going to get punished and you're going to regret it, because then next month I'm going to have like double, triple the paperwork if you keep avoiding it. So being a Mercury sign, a communication sign, the focus for today is throat chakra energy, which is right at your throat. The seed mantra is Hum, and the solfeggio frequency is 741 hertz. And this is this is also a new thing. The moonrise and moonset time, focusing on that is new for me. And I've always thought about associating the zodiac signs with the chakras, because I've been working with chakras for so long that it's just easy for me to remember. So it's just another one of those things to associate with something, and it just kind of like forms this whole full rounded aspect of the zodiac sign. And this adds like another layer to it. Whereas if you don't have earthy colors or don't like wearing earthy colors, you can wear blue instead, because that's associated with the throat chakra. So you're still tapping into that Mercury communication energy on a day that the moon is in Virgo. So I have my mala, and I know I'm always getting ahead of myself, but I would like to start with the mantra every time. So let me pull this over. And so the mantra is Ham, Ham. Music just turned off for some reason. How strange. I swear technology just acts so crazy around me. It was playing on the speakers and now all of a sudden it's on the phone. I love when Mercury's in retrograde so that I can blame it on when stuff goes crazy like that. I can blame it on it, but not in retrograde anymore. So technology is just always crazy around me. Oh, you forgot your mala. Oh, I'm so great. I'm so glad you love it though. Yeah, I sometimes forget to wear mine and then I regret it because I'm like, it's just so easy to just stop for 3 minutes and do a mantra. I even but when I do mobile massage, I carry my table on like this big strap and it kind of pulls on it and I'm always worried it's gonna break. So as much as I want to have it with me when I'm working, I sometimes don't. And it just kind of like digs in my neck when the strap is on there. So I'm going to, I don't know if you wear glasses, but I have like a glasses chain thing and it's half of a mala. So you could do it 2 times. But I haven't like made a bunch of them yet. It's just something I'm thinking of. So if anybody joins Slate, they can join us with the mantra Ham. And so I don't know if I must have given you information about, I have no memory. So the malas that I make start on one side with air. So it's kind of like you're opening a circle. So we're starting with air in the east, and then it transitions into fire for the south, and then water for the west, and then north for the earth, and then this one has I think this one has 9 chakras. I think, yeah, 9 chakras, and then I have different elements for the upper world, lower world, or upper world, middle world, and lower world. So it's kind of like you're opening a circle, and then like if I'm ever doing any sort of ritual, I just like wear it while I'm doing the ritual, and then I don't know, it just feels like you're carrying that energy with you on your body. So yeah. Anyways. Okay, I thought I did. Sometimes I forget them, and I never remember who I actually gave it to and who I do that for the candles too. And I'm like, it's like sitting right next to the package that's already taped up, and I'm like, oh God, why did I do that? So I never remember if I actually put it in the package or not. Okay, that's great. I'm glad. Past Allison actually had her shit together at one point in time. Okay. So here we go. Hum, 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 hum. I really like the throat chakra one. I think I have a blocked throat chakra on a regular basis, so that one is like really calming to me. I guess they all are, really, though. So it was interesting for me to, at first I couldn't really understand why the throat chakra was associated with Virgo until I realized, oh, it's because of Mercury. Because originally, I mean, it's an earth sign, so I was feeling like root chakra was related to Virgo, but compared to yesterday, how Leo was it was kind of conflicting to figure out which chakra was associated with Leo. Like today, it was like across the board, everywhere I looked, Virgo was associated with the throat chakra. And I still kind of don't understand the Leo and crown that much, but and third eye too. It was like third eye, crown, and solar plexus. So it was like all different chakras around the board, across the board. So I don't know, but I like that. It makes sense. Like now that I understand it, it makes sense. And again, I've mentioned this before, but another way to get to know the sign is like I'm totally one of those people that is always asking people what their sign is. So like getting to know your friends and family and what their sign is really helps me, because I mean, I have like one Virgo in my life that I've known, like I've been friends with for like almost 20 years now. And he is such a Virgo. And Virgos are they're very like helpful. Like they like to fix things. They like to organize things. They like to plan things. This person that I'm thinking of, like he can fix anything. He can work on cars. He can do construction. He can fix electronics. It's just like there really isn't anything that he can't do. And it like to the point that it's annoying. Like I'm always like talking to his wife. I'm like, God, really? He does that too? And like, don't you find that annoying? I would feel so inadequate if I was married to someone that could do everything. And I'd be like I'm a total catastrophe over here. So look at your friends and family, and a piece of hair in my water. Look at your friends and family and figure out what their signs are, because I don't know, for at least it works out for me. Like once I know someone's sign, I'm like, oh, that makes so much sense. And it helps you understand those qualities and characteristics, or at least like in an archetypal sense, a little bit better. Another way is to look at your chart and see where different signs fall. And for me, I have Mercury and Venus in Virgo. And growing up, because I'm right at the end of Leo season, I always thought that I resonated with Virgo energy because I was so close to Virgo season. But it just ended up working out that it was because I had two planets in Mercury. So looking like what planets you have, I had two planets in Virgo, and one of them was Mercury and Venus. And that kind of helps, like, because like you understand yourself more than anybody. So looking at those aspects and learning looking at those placements and learning what they mean and knowing that to be true to yourself or not is just a really great way to learn and remember the zodiac. And then like another layer to that is looking at the Virgo season and understanding, especially if you live in a place that has all four seasons and you are able to see that transition. I know all different locations are different, but so right now we're in Cancer. We're going to move into Leo on the 22nd, and then on the 23rd of August, something like that, we will move into, the 24th of August, we'll move into Virgo season, which is transitioning from summer to fall. So in the 12 Faces of the Goddess, Daniel Blackwood describes Virgo is summer transitioning into autumn. And this energy is indelibly imprinted into the archetype, which gives way to the mercurial nature in the Virgo personality. There is now an imperceptible shimmer of gold beneath the righteous green that has held sway for the past few months. Virgo is a mutable earth sign, meaning it bridges us from one season into the next. It resonates with the practical, realistic element of earth. And so, like, if you look at transitioning from summer to fall is when you are going, like, our first harvest will be August 1st. So you've already had your first harvest. The weather is going to start changing, and then we'll have two more harvests after that. But it's time to see planning for the winter, planning for do we have enough food for the winter? What crops worked? What crops didn't work? What are we able to save and preserve and store? And it's getting yourself organized for that transition of season. So she also says the Virgo archetype is tied to the preparation for harvest. That's what I just said. We begin the task of separating the grain from the chaff of our lives. What will we harvest? What will we turn back into the soil to be used as compost for next year's crops? I should have just read this because she's saying exactly what I was going to say. Virgo season has been equated as the time we clean up after the party that is Leo. It's true that at this time of year, many of us are getting ready to go back to school or work. Oh, that's another good point. We're getting ready to go back to school or work after enjoying the pleasures of the summer. There is a simultaneous burst of purposeful activity and organization, as well as a subtle turning within as we prepare for the longer nights ahead. I just wanted to see, there was a description of Virgo that I really like, but I can't remember if it was this lady that said it. I guess I was thinking of somebody else. But so she describes the archetype of Virgo being the virgin goddess. And no matter how devoted Virgo can be to the people in her life, a certain part of Virgo's psyche will always remain unaffected by the opinions and influence of others. Virgo embodies the aspect of the priestess that is self-purified and dedicated to practical ways of serving the goddess. To Virgo, the body is a temple, and a daily ritual and spiritual practice connect her to the innate wisdom of the body, as well as her to cultivate a deep reverence for the cycles of nature. Virgo aligns with the archetype of the healer and aspects of the shaman. She also conjures the motif of the wise woman living in a cottage in the woods, crafting healing elixirs and herbal remedies from what grows in her well-tended garden. So I've heard somebody else describe the Virgo as the virgin, not necessarily meaning abstaining from sex, but I think if you look at the actual definition of virgin, and I should have looked this up again before because I can't remember where I read this, but I think the actual definition of virgin is preserving oneself, like it's not, and like loving yourself. It's not necessarily like abstaining from sexual intercourse. It's just fully embodying yourself before committing, or committing to yourself before giving yourself to somebody. And like it had nothing to do with abstaining from or abstinence or anything like that. So I love that the way that she describes it as seeing the body as a temple, because the earth signs bring us back into our bodies. Most of us, myself very much included, are trying to escape. We're trying to like escape pain or stress or anxiety, and we do things to get away from it, whether it's any sort of vice, like caffeine gets us going and into our body in the morning, or alcohol lets us escape. Drugs are the same way, sugar, and like everything that we put into our bodies is usually a way to escape it instead of actually nourish it. So really just embodying who you are, and considering that a spiritual practice. So if any of your intentions were set around eating healthier or physical exercise, today is a good day again to like get that written down on paper, so that it's like you make this connection mentally when you're writing things down. Like when I often wonder, now that I know everybody uses computers in school, when you're typing, you're not actually getting that, having that neurological. I have all this information in my brain and I don't know how to communicate it accurately, but you're not actually having that connection of physically writing all the words out, because typing it, like you're not even thinking about it really. I don't know. So that makes me wonder if people are actually like getting the information when they're taking notes, when they're typing notes in class, compared to like how we used to do it when I love putting pen on paper. So use the next few days to look at your schedule, plan out. Like I used to be a person that would exercise in the evening because it was a great way to decompress at the end of the day. And I'm not a morning person, so I struggle to get up in the morning. So for me, I loved just coming home from work and dropping everything and getting on the elliptical or exercising, do yoga, whatever it was that I was doing, because it just totally separates your work life from your like personal life. But now that's it. When you exercise at night, it's like it's so easy to just skip it. You're like, oh, but I have all these chores to do before dinner or before bed or whatever. So it's really easy to ignore it in the evening. So that's why I'm trying to get back to doing it in the morning so that it's like done for the day and you don't even have to think about it or worry about it. So this is a day to figure those things out. What works best for your schedule. And when we move into Virgo season, we're gonna have like there's places in the planner for really like breaking down, this is my routine on a day off, this is my routine on a work day, this is my routine, because like in order to be a better morning person, which is something I struggle with, is you have to have a good night routine as well so that you're getting adequate rest so that you're able to wake up in the morning. Just all these things, like Virgo helps you figure these things out and work it into your day. And even if you don't have Virgo in your chart, you're still able to tap into that energy because the moon is reflecting it at us. And with a waxing Virgo moon, it's really reflecting it at us. If it were a waning Virgo moon, it would be a good day to like clean, organize, get rid of stuff, donate stuff, throw things away, that sort of thing. So Amber, since you are the only one here, let's get a card. Whoops, what just flew out? Let's get a card for you. So this is freedom of expression. Banish fear of judgment now. Let it constrict you no longer. Know that the expression of your highest truth is protected and supported by spirit. Speak your authentic wisdom with conviction and courage. Rest assured that doing so will bring you to where you are meant to be. Share your truths from a place of loving compassion so your words land with the intention you use to compose them. The crystal is lazulite and the herb is chamomile. Oh, I hope you were able to have lemon balm yesterday. That sounds so refreshing. Chamomile feels like a Virgo flower. I wonder if it's associated with Virgo at all. The stones that I picked out today, the stones that, I forgot to grab the red jasper. Red jasper is a really great Virgo stone because of that. It has that red earthy color, but it's also associated with the root chakra and is grounding and earthy. I forgot to grab it, but the other stones I recommend are, they look very similar. This is hyperstein. So any black stone is going to be a grounding stone. And arfesnite. And I've only ever seen it in these like big chunks like this, so it feels like a very earthy stone. And they are both grounding and protecting because they're black stones, but they also specifically help you be productive and get organized. And because when we're grounded, we're able to think more clearly instead of being like floating around in space. But these stones specifically help with productivity. It helps you get into alignment with your higher purpose so that you're able to use your gifts in a more productive way. So those are stones for enhancing Virgo energy. And then I chose orchid calcite to help balance Virgo, because if we are too earthy and if we're too structured and strict, it's like too robotic and you're not accessing that creativity, um, or that spark and inspiration to keep you going. So orchid calcite is a sacral chakra stone that helps you with your creativity. Um, and it also has black tourmaline in it. So it is grounding. So it kind of helps balance, keep you grounded while you're feeling fiery and creative. And then, so that's kind of to help balance, like, so that you don't get stuck, because when we have too much earth, we just get stuck and we can't move. So throwing in some sacral chakra creative energy is going to help get that movement flowing, creativity flowing. And then I also picked Trawlite because, in a similar effect that the creativity is going to get you moving, Trawlite is going to connect you to your third eye. And so it's going to help bring that spiritual life's purpose energy to the like mundane, organized daily living kind of stuff. So it'll help awaken your senses, um, to be inspired again, kind of like the orchid calcite, but to in a more like spiritual side of things. So grounded is earthy, third eye energy is up here. So it just kind of like helps you access like that whole channel, especially if you used a root, sacral, and a upper chakra stone. It's like so you're like using all of your life force energy. I think that's all I had to talk about. Does anybody have any questions? I think Amber's the only one here. you're my only supporter. Thank you so much. And again, go like try to figure out and write down what time you're able to see the moon. So it seems like, I don't know why, I love that I'm learning so much doing this follow the moon challenge along with you guys, because it in looking at the moonrise times, it's roughly an hour different every day, which if you have ever lived on the coast or live near a coastal river, or a tidal river, which my family lives on the coast in New England. So it's like a normal thing to check the tides every day, and the tides move an hour every day. So like my aunt and uncle live on a river that's a tidal river. And when it's low tide, you can't get in it. It's so low, it's like a foot deep. So you can't get in it at all. But at high tide, it's like good for swimming and boating and all that kind of fun stuff. So it's interesting because I used to live there. I still kind of check the tides all the time. I don't know why. It's just like, that's just, you check the tide. When can I go swimming today? And so I was trying to see, like, I mean, we all know the moon has an effect on the tides. And so I thought that maybe the high tides and low tides would correlate with the moon rise and moon set. But it looks like, I don't know. I don't know what the association is, because I think it was like high tide was like 11 today or something. So I'm guessing, this is just a guess, that when the moon is in the like 12 o'clock position, like straight ahead, that's confusing. I don't mean like actually at 12 o'clock, but like when the moon is directly above you, I'm assuming that that is also a high tide time, but I'm not sure. And that would kind of make sense, because if the moon is directly above us, then it's pulling that water up, right? That makes sense. Oh, well. So harness the Virgo energy by getting your plans physically written down and organizing your intentions, organizing your day around your intentions, so that you're able to just continue with the waxing of the moon continue like building on that intention and making it work for you and your lifestyle. Again, like asking everybody what sign they are and seeing if there is Virgo in your chart at all is also a really great way to see how Virgo affects your life. And if it's not in your chart, it doesn't mean that you can't harness it. You can still do these things on Virgo days to really tap into that energy. For example, I'm not a very earthy person, so I really make note of uh, Earth when the moon is in an Earth sign so that I can really, really tap into that energy. And same with Virgo season. So in fall, that's when we're getting organized for the winter. And I always feel like refreshed and like motivated during that time. So you'll see how we transition through the months. But yep, let me know if you have any questions. I won't be here live tomorrow morning. The next video will be Thursday, I think, right? Yeah, Thursday the 15th for day 11, because we will be moving into Libra then. All right, so thanks so much. I will see you on Thursday.